All right, doing a mic check here. Mic check. Hey, everybody. Thanks for jumping on here tonight. I'm Stephanie with Unconditional Adventures. I'm a travel agent with Magical Vacations and have been since 2021. And I'm really pumped for this month's Travel Talk Tuesday. If you haven't been to one before, every month we tackle a travel topic that in under 30 minutes. So we try to help you make smarter travel decisions, vacation decisions. And this month, I'm super excited about this topic because it's wildly popular. I love to talk about it. We're going to go into, is an Alaska cruise worth it? What first timers need to know. So don't forget, we are giving away a prize pack as well at the end to one person who stays all the way through the live session. So make sure you stay tuned in. I'll have you comment your name towards the end, just so I know who is still with us. So we're going to give it one more minute because we were having Facebook issues. And so hopefully we can get some people moved over to the YouTube link. So we're going to let them get a chance to hop on. But while we wait, if you would, tell me two things in the comments. First, where are you watching from? Okay, so tell me where you're watching from. And next, is an Alaska cruise already booked? Is it on your bucket list? Or are you just curious about it? So go ahead and comment those below. And we'll see who we got. There's Rebecca in the Seattle area. Good. And she's booked for September. All right. So yeah, don't be shy. Tell me where you're watching from. Hey, there's Jamie from Missouri going in September. Excellent. There's Steve from Louisiana. It's a bucket list item and a good one to have. All right, so we will go ahead and jump in. Over the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to answer several questions together. Most importantly, is Alaska right for you? We'll also answer when you should go. We'll tackle the debate of whether you really need a balcony stateroom or not. I'll cover a few things that surprise first-time cruisers about the entire Alaska cruise experience. We'll talk through how to choose the right cruise for you and your group. And we'll cover what happens next if you decide Alaska is, in fact, for you. My goal tonight is to convince you to take this. It isn't to convince you, sorry, to take this trip. It's to help you decide if this is the right trip for you. All right, so let me get my slide here. There we go. One of the biggest reasons that I wanted to do this live is because I think Alaska is one of the most misunderstood cruise destinations. If you've taken a Caribbean cruise before, it's easy to assume that Alaska works the same way, that you just pick a cruise line, choose a beautiful ship, maybe upgrade your stateroom, and you're all set. But Alaska is very different. In Alaska, the destination is the star. So yes, the ship still matters. You'll sleep there, you eat there, you'll enjoy the entertainment, and of course, it's your home for the week. But what you'll remember years from now probably won't be the buffet or the Broadway-style show. You'll remember the first time you see a massive glacier, the whale that surfaces next to your ship, the mountain views, the little port town that you wandered through, maybe that once-in-a-lifetime excursion that you decided to splurge on. That's why I tell people not to start by asking, what's the best cruise ship? Instead, start by asking, what kind of Alaska experience do I want to have? Because the answer to that question influences almost everything else. What month you should go in, which itinerary makes the most sense, whether Glacier Bay is important to you, what excursions to budget for, and even which cruise line might be the best fit. So tonight, that's exactly what we're going to work through together. So before we talk about when to go or which cruise line to choose, let's start with a simpler question. Is Alaska even the right cruise for you? Obviously, Alaska is a bucket list type destination for many people, but that doesn't automatically make it the right cruise experience for everyone. So let's take a look at who may love Alaska and an Alaska cruise. If you love incredible scenery and nature like glaciers, mountains, waterfalls, and dramatic coastlines, those are all a big part of the Alaska experience. If seeing wildlife like whales, bears, eagles, and sea otters is high on your travel wish list, that's part of Alaska's appeal. Keep in mind that seeing wildlife is never guaranteed, but you can certainly help your chances depending on when you sail. If you enjoy experiences and exploring, which can be a major part of an Alaska vacation, or if you're the type of person who loves to take in the scenery, loves nature photography or scenic cruising, Alaska could certainly be for you. And if you enjoy learning about the places that you visit, Alaska offers opportunities to explore Native American culture, gold rush history, glaciers, and more. You might rethink taking an Alaska cruise if your perfect cruise revolves around warm weather and pool time, because that's just not a thing on an Alaska cruise. If nightlife and entertainment are your top priorities on a cruise, Alaska may also not be a right fit for you. The destination is certainly the star of the show here, and most cruise lines really play into that. Or if you want a completely effortless, just pack a swimsuit and go type vacation, this probably isn't for you. A cruise to Alaska takes advanced planning, especially when it comes to your itinerary, packing lists, and your excursions. Now, I want you to comment below and let me know one thing that you most want to experience on an Alaska cruise. Is it seeing a whale, getting up close to a glacier, seeing a bear, hopefully not up close, getting more inland on the White Pass Railway, or just seeing the incredible scenery? Now, there's no wrong answer. I just want to see what everybody's excited about. So let's see those comments. What are we looking forward to? Yeah, scenery and glaciers. Good. Whales. Love it. Yeah, seeing the mountains. That's a big one. It's just beautiful. I love it. A glacier. Good, good. No shortage. All right, so now let's go over a few myths when it comes to expectations versus reality. Alaska cruising can certainly come with a few surprises, especially if your previous experience has only been the Caribbean. So let's do a few quick reality checks. Let's start with probably the question I've been asked more than any other. Do I need a balcony? The answer is maybe. A balcony can be incredible in Alaska. Just imagine drinking your morning coffee while looking at glaciers or mountains are passing by, or watching the wildlife without fighting for a spot on the open deck. But if choosing a balcony room means that you can't afford that whale watching excursion that you've dreamed about, I'd rather see you choose the excursion, because years from now, you're probably not going to remember sitting outside on the balcony necessarily, but you will remember the whale surfacing next to your boat more than you remember the square footage of your room. So don't automatically assume that you have to have a balcony. The next myth is that Alaska is freezing all the time. People picture snowstorms and heavy winter coats. But in reality, summer temperatures are often very comfortable. The key isn't packing the biggest coat that you own. The key is packing layers. You might start the morning in a light jacket, take it off in the afternoon, and then put it back on when you're scenic cruising that evening. Layers are your absolute best friend in Alaska. And here's one that surprises almost everyone. The cruise fare usually isn't the only thing you should budget for. In fact, some of the experiences that people dream about most, like whale watching, helicopter glacier tours, dog sledding, fishing, those are all optional excursions. So when you're planning an Alaska cruise, don't just compare the cruise prices. Think about your entire vacation budget. And finally, this may be the biggest myth of all. People think that an Alaska cruise is an Alaska cruise, but they are absolutely not. Different ports, different glaciers, different cruise lines, different time in port, different onboard experiences, two people can both say we cruised Alaska and have completely different vacations. That's why choosing the right itinerary matters so much. And we're going to talk about that more in just a few minutes. All right, so real quick, because I love to stir the pot, tell me in the comments which of these surprised you the most. Just put the number. Is it number one, the balcony, number two, the weather, number three, the budget, or four, the itinerary? So just type 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comments. Let's see what surprised you guys the most. Nice. There you go. All right, so we've busted a few myths. So now let's talk about one of the biggest decisions that you'll make is when should you actually go and cruise to Alaska? So Alaska's cruise season can stretch from late April into September, depending on the cruise line and the itinerary. But the best time to cruise Alaska depends on what you want to experience. So for many first-time Alaska cruisers, June through August is the sweet spot. You'll generally find the widest range of tours and activities, long daylight hours, and more access to the classic Alaska experiences that many travelers have on their bucket lists. Now, April, May, and September, you'll notice that Alaska cruises are cheaper. That's mainly due to cooler temperatures, not as many excursions and itinerary options, and rain gets unpredictable. But there are also a lot fewer people visiting at that time. So don't automatically choose a month just because someone told you it's the best month. You really have to ask yourself what your priorities are and the things that will make the cruise a success for you. Your priorities should determine the cruise month, not the other way around. So another common question that I get is, so like how much does an Alaska cruise cost roughly? Here's the thing. Your cruise fare is only one part of your total Alaska vacation cost because excursions and travel logistics can add up quickly. It's a good idea to look again at the entire trip and look at that budget before you choose your stateroom or your cruise. You've got to also budget for airfare to and from your port, a pre-cruise hotel, since you absolutely want to make sure you're in port at least a day ahead of time, a post-cruise hotel if you want to stay a day or two after the cruise, any transfers or transportation from the airport, from the hotel, from the cruise port, any excursions that are on your must-do list. These actually make up the biggest cost factor outside of the actual cruise fare itself. Any onboard gratuities that aren't covered in the cruise fare, or travel protection, trip insurance, things like that that you get for your vacation. And of course, you got to get souvenirs, right? So all of those things, you got to kind of decide where you want to splurge, what you're comfortable saving on, other things that you're willing to spend on before you book the cruise. Because again, your priorities can help shape the cruise, the stateroom, and the itinerary, and it's got to be the one that makes the most sense for you. One of the biggest mistakes that first-time Alaska cruisers make is assuming that every Alaska cruise visits the same places. But again, that's simply not true. Let's take a quick look at some of the experiences that you might be able to have depending on the itinerary that you choose. So Juneau, it's Alaska's capital city. It's one of the most popular stops. This is where people go whale watching or visit the Mendenhall Glacier. You can enjoy a ton of outdoor activities here. If wildlife and glaciers are high on your bucket list, Juneau is often a highlight. Skagway has a completely different feel. It's known for gold rush history and the famous White Pass and Yukon Route Railway. So if you love history, mountain scenery, scenic train rides, this can absolutely be a fantastic stop. Ketchikan is known for its colorful waterfront, the native Alaska culture, fishing heritage, and Creek Street. It's a wonderful mix of history, culture, and shopping, and many visitors enjoy simply just walking around town. Sitka, which I cannot say without thinking of the movie The Proposal, feels totally different from the other Inside Passage ports. It blends Alaska native and Russian history with beautiful coastal scenery and abundant wildlife. It's often a favorite for travelers looking for a quieter, more authentic Alaska experience. And then there's Glacier Bay. Now, this actually isn't a port stop where you get off the ship. Instead, your ship spends hours just slowly sailing through one of the most breathtaking national parks in North America. You'll see massive tidewater glaciers, incredible mountain scenery, and often wildlife right from the ship. For many travelers, this becomes one of the most unforgettable days of their entire cruise. So here's the key takeaway that I hope you'll remember. Don't ask which Alaska cruise is the cheapest one. You need to ask which itinerary includes the experiences that I'm dreaming about. Maybe yours is Glacier Bay. Maybe it's whale watching. Maybe it's the White Pass Railway or learning more about Alaska Native culture. Once you know what experiences matter most to you, choosing the right cruise becomes much easier. Yes, a beautiful ship can take you to Alaska, but the right itinerary helps you experience the Alaska that you've been dreaming about. So, which of those itinerary stops is most exciting to you? Let me see in the comments. Which one are you looking forward to the most? Sitka, Alaska. I always think of the proposal when I hear that. It just makes me giggle. Yeah, Glacier Bay. Man, that's worth the price of admission right there. Glacier Bay is absolutely phenomenal. It is one thing that you will definitely not forget. Yeah, that's a popular one for sure. It's if if you've ever wanted to like feel small in the universe, that Glacier Bay is where it's at. It's incredible. Ah, Juneau because of the whale watching. Yeah, that's very popular for whale watching is Juneau. That's a big excursion port for that. All right. Well, now that we've compared itineraries, let's talk about actual cruise lines. Again, there isn't just a one best cruise for Alaska. The better question is which cruise line best matches the way you want to experience Alaska. So here are some of the major cruise lines that sail to Alaska and what style each one has so that you can compare and see which cruise line matches your travel style. First is Celebrity Cruises, known for their modern luxury and upscale style. They are known as the boutique hotel at sea and put a high priority on comfortable accommodations and top notch dining. Royal Caribbean is a very family focused line with an enormous amount of activities and nightlife on board. There is no shortage of things to do, shows to watch, or places to play any time of the day or night. On the other side of the coin is Holland America Line, which is a cruise line focused on enrichment and immersion in your destination. They are the leaders in Alaska cruises. They've been sailing there for over 75 years. On board, you'll find cultural classes, educational seminars, and foods that are focused on whatever ports you're sailing to. Disney is, of course, known for their exceptional family experiences and high levels of service, and the cruise line is no different. Character meet and greets, Disney on Broadway level entertainment, and rotational dining are all found on their Alaska cruises. Norwegian is still considered a family cruise line with plenty of activities and nightlife, but with a much more flexible and laid back schedule. So there's no specific dining time. It's just like an overall less scheduled kind of feel to it. Virgin Voyages, completely kid free. Nobody under 18 is on board, so it truly is an adults only experience. Virgin is also known for their food. They have 20 plus restaurants on board that are included with the cruise. No buffets, no main dining room. It's a totally different type of cruise experience, as is MSC. They are the leader in the Mediterranean and are just now getting into Alaska. MSC is a European style cruise line. So the service is still high level, but it's not as personalized as an American cruise line. So, like, no towel animals, no calling you by name when they see you, just gorgeous ships with high quality food and service. So, with so many different cruise lines and sailing styles, again, don't start by asking which cruise line is the cheapest. You got to ask which cruise line gives me the best opportunity to have the Alaska experience that I actually want to have. Another great first timer question: what do I bring? Packing for Alaska isn't about bringing your entire closet. The key is to prepare for changing weather, outdoor experiences, and the excursions that you've planned. Again, layers are your absolute best friend. You want to easily be able to add or remove throughout the day as the temperature and the weather changes. Why? Because it will rain. You just got to plan for it. And don't let it be the reason that you stay inside and miss all the scenery that you paid good money to see. Bring comfortable shoes. This is not the place to break in brand new shoes or boots. You want water resistant footwear and quality socks. Create a small day bag. This will make your port days and your scenic cruise days so much easier. You'll also want things like binoculars and cameras to capture the view. Some cruise lines offer binoculars with certain stateroom types, so make sure you know what you have. And remember, you're packing for your Alaska cruise, not somebody else's packing list. All right, so we've covered a lot here in the last 20 minutes or so. So we've talked about whether Alaska is right for you, when you should go, whether a balcony experience is worth it, why the itineraries matter, and even how different cruise lines create different experiences. But again, if there's one thing that I really hope that you take away from tonight, it really is this. There isn't one best Alaska cruise. There's the Alaska cruise that's the best fit for you, right? The best cruise for someone who wants to photograph glaciers all day will be completely different than somebody who maybe is traveling with their grandkids. Someone celebrating a retirement may choose something completely different than someone trying to stay within a certain budget. That's why I don't start by asking you, what's your budget? I'm going to ask you, what kind of Alaska experience are you hoping to have? And once we know that, everything else becomes easier. The cruise line, the itinerary, whether a balcony makes sense, which excursions are worth the splurge, even the best month to travel. It all starts with your priorities. So if you're ready to turn your Alaska cruise into a plan, here are your next steps. If you want more info, just comment Alaska below, and I'll send you a link to my full first-time Alaska cruise guide. It goes a lot more in depth on things like budgeting, packing, itinerary options, cruise line travel styles, and a few things that we didn't have time to get into tonight. It is free to all of you, so please be sure to comment Alaska if you want a copy of it. Or if you want more advice before you book, scan that QR code that you see on your screen and schedule a free Alaska cruise consultation with me. We'll talk through cruise line comparisons, itineraries, timing, and budget, and see what's going to fit you and your group the best. No obligation, no hassles. It's just a conversation. And if you already know that you're ready, message me. We'll get started. We'll get you going. If you're on Facebook, you can send me a message. Well, I guess you're not on Facebook because it wasn't working. But you can go to my Facebook page, which is Stephanie Ashley Unconditional Adventures, and message me there. You can send me a direct message or pop me an email. You can see my email there on the screen. It's stephanie.ashley@magical-vacations.com. Send me an email. We'll get you ready for your Alaska adventure. All right. I'll put that screen up here in just a minute again. But we are getting close to giving away that cruise prize pack. So if you want to win and you're still watching, comment your first name. Throw that in the comments below and we'll get you entered. And if you have any other questions, I saw one come through, but if you have any other questions that I didn't answer, drop those in the comments as well. That way I can try to answer them here in just a second, or if I don't, at the very least, I'm going to message you and get you answered there. Okay, so drop those in your first name so I can get you into the giveaway. I would, of course, be remiss if I didn't tell you about my halfway to the holidays travel giveaway, which is happening right now. You can earn entries through July 31st, all kinds of different ways, like commenting on social media posts, joining my email list, setting up a free consultation, and of course, booking your next vacation. So what better time to talk about your Alaska adventure? The winner gets a $300 travel credit, and I'd love to see all of you in that drawing. So again, just scan that QR code that's in the top right corner for all the details on how you can enter. All right. Let's see what questions we had. Saw one come through. It was, do you think arriving 24 hours prior to cruising is sufficient? Absolutely. You really want to be in at least the day before, mainly because of flight issues more so than anything else. So yeah, give yourself that extra day on the front end because you want to make sure that you are in there in time to catch the cruise, because cruises are not forgiving. And so, yeah, you really want to be in there the day before. All right. If you got any other questions, throw them in the comments. Like I said, I'll message you back. Worst case scenario. But now we're going to draw for this Alaska Cruise prize pack. So this is what you're taking home if you're the winner. The winner gets a super comfy Celebrity Cruises blanket, which is perfect for keeping warm on your Alaska cruise. You get a Royal Caribbean water bottle and a highlighter, which I won when I got, I won Name That Tune, I think, one night. So now I'm passing it on to you. So let's do our winner. I'm throwing your names in here. Here we go. Steve. There he is. Steve. He was a referral from my brother. Steve, you're our winner. Congratulations. I'm excited. I will message you and I will figure out how to get that to you. Okay. So yeah, congratulations, Steve. And again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure you join me next month as well. Tuesday, August 18th is our next Travel Talk Tuesday. It's called Which Alaska Cruise Line is Right for You? Perfect follow-up, right? So we're going to be comparing the top cruise lines for first-time Alaska cruisers. So make sure you put that on your calendar. Same time. Hopefully we can get Facebook working again. But put it on your calendar. Watch for the live session, Facebook and YouTube. And make sure you followed me in those places as well. Make sure you're following me on Facebook, following me on YouTube as well, so that you don't ever miss those live sessions and plenty of travel tips. So again, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you got a lot out of this. I hope you're as excited about an Alaska cruise as much as I am. And yeah, here's again how we can go from here. I look forward to hearing from all of you. Feel free to send me a message or an email if you got any more questions. And yeah, let's talk about your first Alaska adventure. Happy adventuring, everybody.